Hello there, Declan Davey here, health copywriter, and today we're going to be doing a quick 10-minute homepage review of Heroic Hearts Project. So we're quickly going to read through the overview of the brand on LinkedIn, and then we're going to go into the website, have a look through what we really like and what we think could perhaps be improved upon. So let's waste no time and read a quick overview here. So it says Heroic Hearts Project is a registered 501c3 non-profit that connects military veterans struggling with mental trauma to ayahuasca therapy retreats. These veterans typically have tried all of the available resources offered by the Department of Veteran Affairs with limited success, leaving them with very few options. We open the door to other viable options. HHP also provides support and professional counselling to these veterans throughout the process. So it sounds like a really fantastic service, quite unique. Let's click the site and see what we find. So my first impressions are the site is really clean. I love the use of white space at the top banner, and the navigation bar again is nice and clean. It's not cluttered. There's 6 tabs to choose from, which is, I would say, about perfect. And then we have a very relevant image here, which is beautiful design. It says, leading the way in the fight against PTSD. I think the color scheme is fantastic. The text in green obviously relates to military personnel as well. So I think people will resonate with that. And as for the headline itself, let's take the ABC copywriting formula for headlines, which is A being audience, B being benefit, C being curiosity. So let's see, does it tick the audience? I would say yes, it does identify the audience, which seems to be veterans experiencing PTSD. Benefit, does it tick that? It's implied by leading the way. It suggests that they have authority, but perhaps it could be more specific, exactly what benefit the people who continue down the web page will get. And then curiosity, does it tick that? Yes, I would say so. Leading the way in the fight against PTSD. It's strong language, it's active language, and it does encourage you to read more. So let's continue downwards. And we've got a quote here. So ayahuasca and other plant-based medicines will lead the next generation of psychotherapy. So that's a very intriguing statement. Again, it's building that curiosity really nicely. And we've got an annual report here, 2019, which is up to date. See if there's any kind of 2020 material that could be included for it to be even more modern, but perhaps that hasn't been released yet. I would like to see a source for the quote, just to build evidence to the argument. It's not so that it's not just a random quote thrown in there. I'm sure it's not, but some people may question that. So let's just put that as a comment. So source of quote. And then we carry on. And again, it's really nice use of white space here. We've got the mission. So it says Heroic Hearts Project is a registered, so it continues what we've read already on LinkedIn. Connects military veterans struggling with mental trauma to ayahuasca therapy retreats. These veterans typically have tried all of the other available resources. Yeah. The one thing I would say is that they're quite large chunks of text, and for people who've just landed on the site and maybe aren't invested yet, I would like to see these sort of shorter and sharper, maybe 2-3 lines max. Maybe bullet points as well. I think it just makes it more readable. And then we have goals. So connect, facilitate the passage of veterans who are seeking this therapy to reputable ayahuasca retreats and support their path towards healing with before and after counseling. Yep. Inform, increase awareness of the healing potential of ayahuasca therapy with the veteran community. Yep. So these all seem very relevant. Then we've got fight. Do everything in our power to fight for veterans' right to have effective psychotherapy. So if I was to make an adjustment here, I would first of all consider whether it needs to be all in caps. It's quite jarring to read that. It's almost like someone is shouting at you. I understand that you might want to have a sense of urgency. perhaps you could have an exclamation mark at the end rather than it being all caps. And then also, veterans' right to have effective psychotherapy. Whilst I think that's true, I'm sure perhaps veterans aren't thinking, oh, I wish I could have effective psychotherapy. They want something more tangible, like they have the right to have mental health, just like anyone else. So let's see if we can adjust that slightly. So veterans' right to could be get their mental health back. That's a bit more tangible, to get their mental health back. Again, this is just an idea off the top of my head, but you might want to adjust that slightly. And then we carry on, and it's really nice use of imagery here. It builds a kind of setting that I would imagine there would be ayahuasca treatments and therapies available. It looks quite primal and natural. And again, we've got the use of the green coloring. So it says, if you actually want to support the troops, support psychedelic research. I really like that. And it comes straight from the founder, Jesse Gold. If I was to think of one potential improvement, it would just be that the text, I imagine particularly on a mobile device, might be quite hard to make out with the image behind it. I wonder if the saturation could be adjusted slightly just to make the text bounce a bit more, make it stand out. But other than that, it's really great. And then we have a section on what is ayahuasca. So I think this is important because you are going to have people coming on the site who don't have any knowledge of what it is and will probably have some questions. So I think this would be a great section to identify any potential objections someone might have. Typical ones might include things like any dangers associated with it. Has there been any scientific proof or evidence to show its usefulness? And also things like legality as well. So let's have a quick read through and see if it does outline any of those. Ayahuasca is an Amazon plant mixture generally consumed in a tea, like a brew. So again, that's already a nice start. It's associating it with tea, which people don't see as threatening or dangerous. The ayahuasca tea is made from a combination of the ayahuasca vine and chacruna, along with other admixture plants to be included in the ayahuasca. So we've got the details of how it's made, cooked in an open fire for 8+ hours. So it's going into specifics there, which is nice. And that's what people will want to know. It's like, how is it actually made? What's it going to do for me? The DMT in the brew induces altered states of consciousness, usually lasting between 4 to 8 hours after ingestion. These altered states often allow individuals to revisit and process issues associated with personal traumas and repressed memories in a safe, controlled setting. Many compare the experience to doing 10 years of therapy in 1 week. I like that. It's a nice analogy there at the end, just to break it down into simple terms. And then the tea has been used in the Amazon for millennia by shamans for spiritual and medicinal properties. Recent scientific studies have shown that it is potentially a very powerful tool for fighting anxiety, depression, anxiety, and numerous other mental and physical issues. So it's great that it ends on the recent scientific studies just to bolster the argument. What I would really like to see there is some links to those studies, just so people can learn more. Or again, you could just include quotes from the studies themselves. It just, again, builds authority. Then we have a section here with another beautiful image. I must say, whoever's designed the images for your site has done a really top job. It's an inspiring image. Climbing, striving. Again, I think a lot of people who have worked in the military sector will connect with that image. And it says, donate, follow the journey. So it's a clear call to action. And we've got options like join us, follow the journey. So I like that there's not too many fields to fill in, which I think will increase the amount of people who are willing to do it. What I would like to see is more specific benefits that the person who is considering donating or who is considering following the journey will get. So it could be something like follow the journey and get the latest in ayahuasca news and science around the globe, something like that. I'm sure that you have specific benefits in mind, like what you offer people who sign up and might get a newsletter. Are they likely to get any benefits from doing so? Again, it just provides more urgency and incentive. And then finally, we've got a really nice clean section again at the bottom with the social channels, the links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I think that's a nice blend, not too many, not too few. So overall, I think this is a really fantastic site. I'm very intrigued by the concept. And as someone who's not directly involved in this sector, even I am interested to find out more. I think the imagery is the website's strong point, and I like that the text is bold and the color scheme is related to the target audience. I think that's really important. It does go into quite a nice amount of detail onto what ayahuasca is. What I would like to see is more evidence or links to evidence that people can prove to themselves, okay, this site is worth listening to. And also, I think it'd be great to include a bit of the founder's personal story, or anyone in the team, if they're willing to share a little bit of their personal story that relates to why they see it as important to raise awareness about this, how they were affected themselves. It could be a short 30-second video or something like that. Again, we don't want to overload readers with a whole long essay about the personal story. It could just be a few lines that then clicks through to an about section, for example. But other than that, really great site. Love the concept. Intrigued to find out more. And for the team at Heroic Hearts Project, I hope you've enjoyed this review, and perhaps there's a few tips that you want to take away. For any other health, wellness, or medical brands that would like a free 10-minute homepage review, let me know in the link below, and I will do that for you. No questions asked. Anyway, that's all from me today. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you soon.